Hey guys, welcome to the second lecture. This one is going to be extremely short because I actually mostly want you to work on a worksheet today. I was thinking about how to do this, and I think I've settled on this being the best way. I want to talk about the Soviet Middle East, and you're like, what's the Soviet Middle East? Well, that actually involves several things. The simplest answer to the question, though, is it involves the Stan countries, with the exception of two. It does not involve Pakistan, obviously, and it involves Afghanistan, but in a odd way. So, the rest of the stand countries were once controlled by the Soviet Union. So, why is this important? Well, the Soviet Union extended down into the northern parts of Central Asia, into Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and eventually Afghanistan. In fact, it might surprise you to know that between 1979 and 1989, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan and attempted to take it over. And it spent huge amounts of military resources. And we actually funded the resistance in Afghanistan against them. The United States did, called the Mujahideen. And one of the famous stories is that we financed a young Saudi Arabian by the name of Osama bin Laden in his fight against the Soviet Union. Obviously, that came back to bite us in the rear end. So today, I want you to go over to the worksheet for lecture 2, and I want you to pick one of the Stan countries, okay? So you can pick Afghanistan, you can pick Kazakhstan, you could pick Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, any of the Turkmenistan, whatever you want. You can pick any of those countries. Just pick one that interests you, the one that you think has the coolest name, whatever you want to do, that's fine. And I want you to answer the questions and do some research into this. And I think you will find it enlightening. If you have no idea, if you like, I have no preferences whatsoever, I don't think you can go wrong with researching Afghanistan. Obviously, the United States is currently involved in Afghanistan, so knowing more about it would certainly be beneficial for you. But I think all of them are interesting. I also want you to think about it from a missions perspective. Sometimes we hear about the 1040 window. Well, can I tell you that the stand countries are probably the least reached people groups for the gospel in the entire world, and they are hard to get into. It's a hard place to be a missionary. And in fact, I only know of a few missionaries that are working in that area, and man, they are really doing some serious work. So that's another thing I want you to think about as you work on those worksheets today. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm not going to lecture you about them simply because their histories are too complex, they're too dissimilar from each other, and I don't want to drag you into the probably pretty boring levels of talking about the Soviet Union and its policies in those places. Although I think it's interesting, perhaps you won't. So go ahead and head over to that worksheet and fulfill that, and then I'll see you for a full-length lecture in the next one.